Welcome to Market Movers on this beautiful day, where we bring you the pulse of Nigeria's economy, right from the stock markets to the community markets. My name is Osai Ilome. On the show today, we'll be taking you through the vibrant business landscapes of Nigeria's diverse zones. We'll be exploring the streets, we'll be exploring the latest business and economy developments and the innovative products from different companies that are shaping our marketplaces, driving growth, and fostering regional synergies. On the national scale, we'll be exploring the inflow of foreign direct investments to identify their allocations and the tangible impact, if any, that they have contributed to our nation's prosperity. But first, we'll go straight to local and international market reports. Then we will move our attention to zonal business and economy report with our zonal business and economy editor, Sonny Onaji, bringing us up to speed on the business and economic developments from the zones. Thereafter, I'll be joined by Steve Nwachukwu, our in-house guest analyst, to dissect the foreign direct investment inflows and allocations, while Mr. MJ Young, the founder of FX Oracle AI Global, will also be joining us to make a sense of the forex trading dynamics in Nigeria. I can tell you it's a bumper package, so stay tuned as we bring you the stories, the statistics, and the strategies that relate to how the market, the indicators and the fundamentals that are shaping the market. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break. Market movers, and like I promoted earlier on, I have Sonny Onaji with me on set. Sonny Onaji is the editor of Market Movers and is here with his findings across the zones on zonal business and economy roundtable. Sonaj, what's on the table?
Wow, thank you, Osai. All right, welcome to the zonal business updates right here on Market Movers. A lot seems to be happening, but we'll be focusing basically on two states in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Enugu in southeast Nigeria and Nasarawa, north central. Okay, if you recall that the Enugu state government recently signed a $100 billion deal with Pragmatic Palms Limited, a subsidiary of Diamond Stripes Limited, to revive the moribund Enugu State United Palm Products Limited, UPPL. This initiative is part of Governor Peter Mbah's administration's effort to transform dormant state assets into productive ones, aiming to boost the state's economy from a $4.4 billion to $30 billion. The partnership is expected to create numerous jobs and have a substantial socioeconomic impact on the state, particularly in enhancing production in the oil palm industry, which is a notable export commodity. The government has assured investors of its commitment to ease of doing business and responsiveness to make the partnership beneficial for both the company and the state. However, there have been criticisms regarding this partnership. The Labour Party in Enugu State has raised concerns, suggesting that the deal might be a case of economic mismanagement. Okay, they pointed out that Pragmatic Palms Limited was registered only a few days before the partnership agreement was signed, questioning the company's experience and track record to handle such a significant project. The party has called for the attention of the people of Enugu State, the federal government of Nigeria, and the anti-corruption agencies to what they perceive as a potential diversion of state resources. It's important to know that we are still working our sources on these development to further identify perhaps the allegations around what they are saying is a case of diversion of state resources. But as we get more on it, we'll definitely bring it on the show.
Now, that is awesome, Sonny. Coming to the studio, I get a confirmation that the state government, Enugu state government in this case, released a statement.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
They did release a statement because of the criticism that trailed the announcement. However, it had been signed. But some of the issues that people are raising, particularly Labour Party, where they are saying the company in question was registered on the 6th of May, 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. they are questioning the swiftness, the alacrity with which the deal was signed to a company that is barely incorporated on the 6th of May, about 2 weeks ago. So they are questioning why the rush, why the quickness, why the immediate approach to awarding such a huge contract to a company that was just incorporated on the 6th of May 2024. However, the Enugu State government, in response to that criticism, has also put out a statement to say that they are not bequeathing the right completely, to the company. Yes, that there's an equity contribution on the part of the state government.
Okay.
The state government is providing 40% of the plantation, of the palm plantation, while the company will make up the 60%. In as much as that explanation did not also go well with the people who are against this initiative, the Enugu State government, because they are questioning the safety of the investment, of the state investment, in they call it a one-man show.
Yes.
Given the fact that the company was just registered on the 6th of May.
And there is something that they said about the MD of that company, which they are partnering with, being the same person promoting the third company in question.
Part of the defense the Enugu State government put out was the fact that in as much as Pragmatic Palm Limited was registered recently, they have a guarantee company, which is the Diamond Stripes Limited.
Yes.
But they got to discover again that the MD of Diamond Stripe is the same person that is the MD of Pragmatic Palms Limited. However, the Enugu State government had gone to quote the relevant sections of the law. That's the Company and Allied Matters Act, where the pre-incorporation of company as such is allowed according to Section 96, subsection 1 of CAMA. I think that is where they got the backing, the legal backing to do what they did. Yes.
All right, that is very insightful, and we look into getting more information about the outcome of these conversations and to be able to hold the Enugu State accountable. That is the essence of this. Now, what can you tell us? Recently, you talked about the Nasarawa State as part of the findings that you have for us.
Yes. As you are aware, the president, represented by the Senate president, did commission a lithium factory in Nasarawa State, north central Nigeria. The lithium factory in Nasarawa State is a great development in all standard. Let me mention that Nasarawa State executed that project in collaboration with Avatar New Energy Materials Company Limited, a Chinese firm. Okay, and that was recently. Like I said, it was commissioned by the president. Okay, let's look at the opportunities, because a lot of people before now, the mining activity in Nasarawa State, we know Nasarawa State as the home of solid minerals, and mining activities has always been that of artisanal mining.
Yes.
Okay, but the lithium factory is said to have a capacity to produce about 4,000 metric tons of lithium per day. It is expected to create approximately 4,000 job opportunities.
Wow.
Also, it represents a significant step towards harnessing Nigeria's solid mineral potential and enhancing the nation's economy. And following the success of this factory execution, Canmax Technologies, another Chinese firm, has announced a new investment of $200 million for a second lithium processing plant in the state, further expanding the sector's capacity. And now let's look at the potential. What are the potential? The factory is poised to position Nigeria as a key player in the global lithium market, crucial for the production of batteries for electric vehicles and other commodities. The project aligns with the government's renewed hope agenda, aiming to diversify the economy by leveraging the mining sector. The plant's operation is expected to contribute significantly to revenue generation, economic growth, with the potential to process 18,000 metric tons of lithium daily, totaling 4.5 million metric tons annually. Somehow, you may think that it is all uhuru, but no. There are pitfalls that must be considered, and that's the point we want to make on the show. Despite the positive outlook, critics have raised concerns. President Tinubu has advised lithium investors to prioritize environmental protection and community engagement, warning against leaving the host community in ruins due to exploration activities. There are fears that the quest for lithium could lead to environmental degradation and security concerns if not managed responsibly. Critics also stress the importance of ensuring that the benefits of such projects extend to local communities and that the operation adhere to strict environmental standards. In conclusion, The commissioning of the lithium factory in Nasarawa State presents a mix of opportunity and challenges. While it holds the promise of economic revitalization and job creation, it also brings to the fore the need for sustainable and responsible mining practices. It is imperative that the government and investors work closely with local communities to ensure that the factory's operations are beneficial and do not compromise the environment or the well-being of the residents. Following these pitfalls, experts have recommended that certain policy framework be put in place. Here are the recommendations. Let me take them one after the other. Continuous monitoring of the factory's environmental impact, implementation of community development programs, establishment of clear guidelines for sustainable mining practices, regular dialogue between the government, investors, and local communities to address any concerns. And these are some of the recommendations that we've been able, to make at the moment. And we expect that it will guide the government going forward.
Wonderful, wonderful. These are very, very insightful findings that you are bringing on the show this day. What can you tell us about products that are gaining the market shares across the zones in the states?
Okay, let me quickly tease our audience about several innovative products and services that are making new entries across various regions, reflecting the country's growing entrepreneurial spirit and economic diversification. All right, let's look at some of those products quickly. Okay, the first on my list is rechargeable solar power traffic lights. These traffic management systems are designed to operate efficiently even during power outages, improving road safety and reducing congestion. The second one is Kia Gas, a service offering pay-as-you-go gas cylinders, transforming cooking solutions in Nigeria. These products and services are not only contributing to the local economy, but also have the potential to impact the regional markets and beyond. They represent a mix of technology, healthcare, energy, and industrial sectors, showcasing Nigeria's diverse economic landscape. I think that's much we have for you on those products.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sonny Onaji, for this wonderful product that you have shared with our audience today. We're going to keep our eyes on these products, and we hope you keep your eyes on this product as well. We're going to come back with Stephen Nwachukwu to take a different perspectives on some of these issues and how it's moving the market in your location. Before then, let's go for a quick break. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. A bit technical issues, delays that are coming back from the zonal and business findings with Sonny Onaji. But right now, I have with me Mr. MJ Young, the CEO of FX Oracle AI Global, who will be sharing with us insight on forex trading. Because as you will know, there has been a lot of misconceptions about forex, and on this show we intend to demystify some of those misconceptions. And also I have our regular in-house analyst in the person of Steve Nwachukwu, who will be giving us his perspective on some of the issues that were raised on the zonal business and economy reports, particularly as it has to do with the Enugu State government and the Pragmatic Palms partnership, and of course the commissioning of the lithium factory in Nasarawa State. So, but first, before I come to you, MJ, let me quickly bring in Steve Nwachukwu. Steve, can you hear me? Steve is joining us virtually, and we seem to have a bit technical issues. But can you hear me, Steve? Okay. Before Steve, okay, Steve, are you there? Can you hear me, Steve? Okay, so before we bring Steve back on air, let me talk to MJ. MJ, you are the CEO of Oracle FS Global.
Yes.
Can you help us to understand the concept of forex trading? Because to an ordinary Nigerian, forex trading seems to be a bit complex.
Yes, thank you so much. When it comes to forex trading, the concept of forex trading in Nigeria is it's a new concept, if I must say, because what people have been experiencing in the past is it has been puzzle scheme. People have been used to putting their money into investment, and people run away. Those investment or lines shut down. But the real concept of online trading is actually an old concept, but in Nigeria, it's just like a baby experience for the common Nigerians. So I want to say when it comes to online trading, it's actually the buying and selling of currencies online, and it is actually regulated and it is legal.
It is regulated.
Yes.
And it is legal.
Yes.
But most people don't seem to, have those kind of understanding. Now, from your own point of view as the expert in this field, what are the major criticisms of forex trading practices in Nigeria, particularly as it has to do with transparency? You just mentioned about regulation. Is the regulation enough? And what is the extent to which people are allowed to do certain things, and to what extent have they been able to put some of these corporates behind bars, or make them to pay the price of deception? Overall, what are the criticisms as it has to do with transparency from your own experience?
Yeah, when you look into the industry, the space is actually like every other industry and space. The forex space is actually filled with a lot of scammers and people who take money illegally, who are not authorized or licensed by the Financial Commission or the government to actually do that. And that is because of poor regulation internally, talking about Nigeria space.
Yeah.
And but the fact is that when you look around, you find out that a lot of these people are behind bars now, behind the bar in jail. They have been tried. You hear issues like 50 billion naira scam and investment running, unregulated or unchecked in Nigeria space, which is not like that in other space like the US, the Australian space. So, but in times of regulation and bringing those people, to book, I think that the government is really, really trying.
Okay, so I want to hold you there. I have information now from the MCR that our other guest is live. Steve, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us again after all the technical glitches. But again, you are here now. I think that is what matters. Our viewers want to hear from you as per the issue that has been raised during the Zonal Business and Economy reports and the findings by our editor on the issue of the partnership between Enugu State Government and Pragmatic Palms Limited. From your own assessment, what do you think the 100 billion naira deal between these two parties will contribute to the state? Do you think you have the potential of revitalizing the state economy?
Well, there are two ways to look at it. I've listened to your editor. There are controversies around it, but let's take the first phase of it, which is the yields from the Enugu State Government roundtable, business roundtable. They did a couple of months, and having to secure the $100 billion investment in this regard is a good one. The controversy will always be because they work and operate within a political environment. There will be some eyebrows, there will be some concerns, perhaps. And I'm very sure that the government will also look into those issues that are being raised by this individual. But first, the first phase of it is that, or the first phase of it is the attracting or the investment size of 100 billion to revitalize or reform the palm industry in Enugu State. Remember that this is one of the pioneer projects of the former Eastern Nigeria, where you have the likes of, forgotten the name, who actually established our farm, and it has been moribund for more than 3 decades now, and we are having opportunity to get it back to fit and to make sure that it also serves as a source of revenue to the government of Enugu State. So it's a welcome development. And the second phase, which is the controversies of who actually is coming to invest or take a stake of 60% structural investment in that very palm plantation. It simply means that if you can't take up 60%, you have the capacity to actually invest. whether you were registered 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 10 years or 30 years ago. It may not actually account. It's a question of your financial capability to refund that industry. So it's a welcome development. It will add to other sorts of income for the Enugu state government. We continue to canvass for a diversified economy. And I'm seeing this very government of Enugu state trying to do such by bringing these investors that will open up this very area to serve as a source of income to the government of Enugu state. So it's a welcome development. So I also need the opposition in the state to follow up through so that there will be some level of accountability and result oriented in this regard. So be on the side of those who criticize. So they keep on pointing out those issues or the gray area they needed some clarification or clarity to. So it's good on both sides. Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, I think the key thing is that, you know, in as much as they are not running foul of the law in the process of incorporation and reaching this agreement or this partnership, you are saying that it's good to go. Now, what impact do you foresee when it comes to job creation? Because we understand sometimes if these partnerships are not also well structured, you have a situation where some of the job opportunities will be frittered away to you know, so-called expatriates. What do you see in these dynamics?
Yes, that's why I said on one hand, it's good that government embark in this very arrangement or agreement or memorandum of understanding. And on the other hand, it's also good that this gray area has been pointed out. Beyond a partnership, beyond pronouncements of investments and collaborations, we need to see some results. And the result cannot fall from the blues. It cannot come from heavens. It has to come with some level of capacity. It has to come with some level of commitment. It shouldn't be rhetorics or just for the soundbite of 100 billion deal. We need to start seeing these individuals building capacity to actually deliver on that. Like the job creations, if you continue to run it as a rhetoric, you will not be able to get those job opportunities that will be available. Have in mind that the palm production of the palm is one of the best commodities that can get revenue for the state. And this very palm plantation has been moribund for more than, like I said, 3 decades. It's quite good that this decision is coming, but we need some level of commitment that shows that these very individuals has the capacity to actually reform and make sure that this very palm plantation starts yielding necessary and necessary income and necessary job opportunities that should come from it. So on the side of those who are actually taking these very bold steps to invest this money, we need to see some level of capacity. We need to see some level of commitment. We need to see some level of a spirit from them so that we can also attest to the fact that, yes, you are capable of really revamping this. So let it not end as rhetoric, as being criticized by the oppositions in the state. So the government need to do a lot to make sure that this very agreement or this deal is brought to light in the sense that in the next couple of years or months, we need to start seeing some level of option. We need to start seeing some level of revenue amounting from the exercise or activities in this palm plantation. So it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. But you know, before I you know, go to my next question regarding the commission of the Nasarawa lithium factory, I want you to speak specifically on what can be done. What measures do you think, you know, the stakeholders in Enugu State should be looking forward to adopting, you know, to ensure that, you know, like you are saying, it's not just about soundbite 100 billion naira partnership for revitalization of the palm oil factory or the palm oil, but what, you know, do we need to do to ensure that this impact in terms of job creation, in terms of contributing to the GDP of the economy is achieved?
A lot needs to be done, and I can see from the sign and the body language of the governor, he is determined. Like I said, this is a fallout or the yields from the business roundtable they did a couple of months ago. A couple of them are yielding fruits now. Foreign and local investors are taking interest in that state. That's why we need some level of good leaders with good vision. So the commitment should come from the governor. It's his vision, it's his ideas. So he needs to follow through. It does not make or speak good of him after getting these initiatives and they can't get this deal or get this factory running, creating those jobs that he needed to be created in the state, diversifying the revenue of the state. So I'm very sure he will follow through to the commitment and see that this deal is brought to light. So I believe in him. And I think whatever strength or whatever drive that will make this very deal successful should come from the governor. And I think I have his commitment today. So I'm very sure he's going to follow through because it will still pay back to him, or it will stand as a positive for him if he follow through to this side, and it will also count as negative to him if he actually relent, or would Nigerians or the people of Enugu will see this as a signboard or rhetorics or to make the news for the news sake. So, and I'm very sure he is sincere, he is committed to follow through to this project, and in a couple of months or weeks to come, we start seeing the yields.
Yeah, so I agree with you. This could serve as one of his legacy projects and could even make him a visionary in the context of our economic development. But let me quickly, pivot to the commissioning of the lithium factory in Nasarawa State. What do you think? How significant, looking at where we are as a country and in the context of the EV evolution globally? What is the significance of this factory in Nasarawa State?
Well, there are two perspectives or two ways to look at it. First is the revenue boost. Then the second is the value chain. First, the revenue base is a lot of advantage to the government of Nasarawa State and the federal government as much, because this is a natural resources. It will account to the federation account, and it will also give that Nasarawa State that 13% derivation. So it's a revenue for the state. Then on the value chain is an overall investment opportunity for the Nasarawa State government or the people of Nasarawa State and Nigeria at large. Lithium is one of the major raw material in producing batteries. And we are talking about alternate or upgrade power generation. And you cannot have a successful launch or implementation of upgrade power generation if you don't have a battery that will support the solar system. So this is quite a good development, and I believe for sure that it's not going to end by exporting the raw material to somewhere in China or Indonesia, but I believe that the factory that will process and produce battery for local use and for even international use will be set up in Nigeria. That will be the value chain itself, because we cannot have the federal government through rural electrification project who is doing experimentation on upgrade solar panels or upgrade electricity generation through Light Up Nigerian project. This will serve as a great to this very program, and it will also serve as a great advantage to Nigerians, because you cannot talk about solar panel power if you don't have battery. It's becoming so expensive because the battery is a major component of the solar power electricity generation.
Yeah.
It's so exorbitant considering the current exchange rate. So if we can produce the battery right here in Nigeria, it will serve to the greater purpose, and it will reduce the cost of installing or establishing a range of solar panels. Like I said, the rural electrification program is going on, and this will push the activities and make sure that the unserved, the unserved areas of Nigeria, both the rural area and cluster of areas, like I know for sure that rural electrification projects is going on. They are using some universities, teaching hospitals to do some experimentation in segmentation of producing off-grid electricity clusters. So this will serve as a very good boost for such projects.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, and by extension, this could also contribute to our foreign earning capabilities. I have, I will let you go at this point. I have Mr. MJ Young in the studio with me, looking at forex trading, and I want to, find out a bit more for the purpose of our audience who has, this negative perception about forex trading in Nigeria. Now, you have been talking about the fact that it's a regulated environment. We are seeing that some of these projects that are being executed in Nigeria, like this lithium factory, will also expand the ability of Nigeria to generate forex. So looking at the current devaluation of Naira, because again, one of the objects of business is profit. How has profit been affected, this period of the Naira fluctuations?
Okay, thank you. When it comes to the issue of forex and trading,
Yeah.
We must take one factor into consideration, and that factor is that this money is being converted from, the profit is being converted from dollars back to the Naira. So that means it is actually an income. So when Naira devaluates, and like maybe currently you see Naira, going against the dollars, going up against the Naira, you discover that most traders are actually making more profit. For example, let's say someone has $1,000 dollars in his account when Naira was depreciated, and maybe it was equal to 1,000 Naira per dollar, and then by default, if Naira devaluate and move to 1,400 Naira per dollar, the person has eventually, by default, he has even made a profit of 40%.
So my point, because we are pressed with time now.
Yes.
What I wanted to get out from you on this show for this day, I know we're going to be having you consistently going forward. The issue of scam, all right? What is being done? Because most Nigerians see forex as scam. What is being done by stakeholders to limit this perception, or eliminate this perception?
Yes, I think in that aspect, I'm going to say that I want to say that there is poor structure or poor system on the ground to actually tackle that. Most Nigerians see forex as scam because even the agencies or institutions that should be involved legally from the government are not involved. Experts have not been consulted and brought into the space to talk more, to regulatory space to talk more on it. So the average Nigeria just go online and dive into it without any proper knowledge or guidance. So I think little has been done when it comes to the part of the stakeholders. It has been left to the common man on the street.
So your point is that, if I get you right, there is a bit of lack of proper knowledge.
Exactly.
Within the context of ordinary Nigerians in terms of how forex works, and yet they jump into it. So training is needed. I understand you're having a program coming up soon. Is that part of things that needs to be done to eliminate this kind of poor knowledge environment?
Exactly. I think that's one of our core objective in our company, because we have been going from state to state training people massively, and presently we're going to be having the Abuja Profitable Traders event by June 22nd of next month in Maitama here in Abuja, where traders from different states will be gathering and experts will be brought. So to impact the proper knowledge for trading.
So that is what is needed, because the point is Nigerians really want to diversify their portfolio, their income opportunities, and from what we are hearing, forex kind of provides that opportunity. But yet, the process of having adequate information, adequate knowledge about the process and procedures is still yet not very available to Nigerians. Yeah, we see a lot of training being conducted, but most of those training are not structured to really communicate the adequate knowledge needed. They are structured in such a way that it becomes a bit selfish, for the benefit of the people that are structuring those training. What is your recommendation going forward for, like you mentioned, that government has not really come in to help structure and provide the framework for this sector to thrive?
Okay, I think I'm going to recommend that government look into this space very well, because we cannot ignore that the space is one of the largest space that youth are diving into right now. People can stay from their house and trade, work from home, and frankly speaking, I'm a graduate from Ahmadu Bello University, and I can tell you that I have created job not just for myself, but for others. So
using forest trading.
Forest trading as a tool. So if the right people come into it, if the stakeholders come into it, and the right knowledge is properly given with proper guidance, I want to say that many jobless Nigerians will not be, and most importantly, it's going to reduce the internet fraud, and like we talk about Yahoo Plus, the illegal things the common youth does just to earn a living.
So your thinking is that forest could equally help us in tackling the issue of scam and internet fraud and all that within the youth demography. All right, we'll have to leave it here. We are pressed with time. I can tell you that going forward, we'll be inviting MJ here to share with us some of these dynamics as it has to do with forest trading. It's a sector that is actually very big, very large across the globe. And we know that our youth will be able to tap into that sector adequately if the right environment is provided. Thank you for staying with us on the show Market Movers today. Until we come your way again tomorrow, stay tight and remain blessed.